Good afternoon. Today we're going to learn how to make peppered turkey jerky at home with a food dehydrator. The introduction for today's lesson, we will be discussing how to make peppered turkey jerky by using pre-measured peppered seasoning, pre-measured salt cure, and a jerky gun with food dehydrator. Items you'll need before getting started with this task is a food dehydrator that offers a cooking range of 150 to 170 degrees Fahrenheit, an assembled jerky gun, 3 pounds of lean ground turkey meat, a packet of pre-measured seasoning and cure, a large non-metallic mixing bowl, a measuring cup for measuring liquids, 1.5 to 1 cup of cold water, and a roll of paper towels. All right, let's move right into the instructions. So as you can see here in the video, here is my pre-measured peppered jerky seasoning and my pre-measured cure. These are extra packets. As you can see in the turkey meat, I've actually already added it and mixed it in. Now I'm going to add a 1/2 cup of water, cold water, to the turkey meat, and I'm going to mix it in with the seasoning and the turkey that's already been mixed. So once you put that in there, this is where you get to mixing, and just take your time. It's not a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. And just mix that nice and thoroughly. Kind of get that water, and this water is just kind of help take a little bit of the stick out of it. Gonna make the consistency a little more pliable, so it'll be an easier injection through your jerky gun. And so you're mixing, and this shouldn't take real long though. You just want to make sure that that visible water that you poured in there is no longer visible, and that just kind of shows you that the meat and the seasonings that you have in here have soaked it up and it's about ready for action. So once you get to this point and it's mixed in pretty good, this is where I'm going to step away from the camera for a quick second, and I'm going to thoroughly wash my hands before moving forward with putting the meat into the jerky gun and shooting our strips onto the tray. All right, now that we've got that part done, this is where we're going to start loading the meat into the jerky gun. As you can see on here, I have a funnel. This is something that you can use but do not have to use. It just kind of makes it a little bit easier keeping all the meat in the right areas to make sure that you can deliver it into the chamber of the jerky gun. So right now we're just going to start grabbing little pieces at a time and kind of making sure that we push it down into that jerky gun and kind of get it started. And we just want to fill this chamber up. And if you're running into some problems and you're not able to get it down, then you can use a stomper like this, and it'll fit inside the jerky gun, and it'll just push that meat down. A little bit slippery, so just keep a handle on it and keep going. And just a little bit more and a little bit more. You can take your plunger again and just deliver some more into that chamber. And then once you're comfortable with the amount of meat that you have in there, this is where that funnel can come off. And then you can see the jerky that we have inside of our gun. And I'm going to wipe my hands off with a dirty towel just to make sure that we don't spread the meat everywhere. And then I'm going to put on my attachment of choice. And then we'll be able to start dispensing the jerky. So now that the meat is in the tube, this is where we're going to put on our attachment. And this one, I prefer flat jerky over the round traditional jerky strips that you find in stores and everything. And so once you have the tip on, then the pistol grip handle right here, it's kind of like a silicone gun. So you just start clicking it, and it'll advance that plunger inside and push that meat out. And so you just have to keep plunging it a couple of times and let that plunger disperse all that air and kind of get your turkey meat to the end. And then it starts to come out. When it starts to come out, you start at the top of your tray, and then you just gradually pull the trigger and move back to yourself. And you don't have to tug on it hard, but you don't want to leave it too thick either. And then once you get right there to the end, just kind of push it down and break away. And there's your strip of jerky. So once you figure out how to do this, this is where you're going to pull out all of your dehydrator trays and fill up each tray until you either run out of meat or you run out of room on your tray. Once you're done with that, you take your tray and you place it in your food dehydrator. Once all your trays are in, you put the door on your food hydrator, make sure it's plugged in, and then turn on your dehydrator. Mine just so happens to be digital, but it does not have to be. But I like to set my jerky at 158 degrees Fahrenheit, and I like to set my initial cooking time at 6 hours. This is a pretty good time to set, and then when the timer is up, this gives you a chance to look at your turkey. It'll be cooked, but it depends on how you like the consistency, whether you are okay with pulling it out there, or if you're like me and want it a little firmer, then this would be a good time to add another hour to your timer. Let it cook for another hour, come back, check on it again. If it's still a little soft for you, you can do another hour. Some batches can take up to 10 hours. It just depends on the person and how they like their jerky consistency. So with that being said, in a nutshell, that's how you make peppered turkey jerky at home with lean turkey meat. Thank you so much.